And filling out your running order, the number 2 for Gary Zimba. The number 10 of Bob Patch. And a late entrant, I believe that would be the number 75, or it could be 25. It's kind of all painted around, but we'll try to get the official word on that one. We'll look for a start at this time in turn number 4. Once again, 30 laps the distance for the Lee USA Late Model Division. Ryan Grant leads him down. Green flag is out. We're underway. Ryan Grant takes over the top spot side by side for second. Scott Sargent down low. Ron Bolduc up high. Wayne Helliwell cuts down on Fulton Mountain, who in turn has to take a base of action, as well as Mike Johnson, who are all involved in that battle, followed by the number 28 of James Brown. Keep an eye on Brown. Brown working the high side. He goes to the outside of Johnson. Gets by Johnson. Now will close in on the number 7 of Fulton Mountain, but he's got Ron Bolduc directly ahead back into turn number 1. Grant leads it by 2 car lengths in turn number 1. Then it's Scott Sargent out of Merrimack, Massachusetts, who runs in second. Helliwell Jr. runs in third. Fulton Mountain runs in fourth. Side by side for fifth now. Mike Johnson down low. Ron Bolduc up high. James Brown tries to move low on Bolduc. Bolduc in turn tries to protect the low line, but can't do it. That opens up the door for Brown, who moves down low on Bolduc and takes over the number 6 position. James Brown to 6th. Trouble on the front straightaway. Richard Knight and Kerry Heath come together. Both drivers able to get back underway, so it will be a very quick caution flag. Ryan Grant will lead it down to the stripe once again. Scott Sargent to the outside. Green flag is out. Off of turn number 2, Brian Grant retakes the top spot. Scott Sargent and Wayne Helliwell Jr. locking a side-by-side battle for second. Helliwell Jr. down low, Sargent up high. Meanwhile, further on back in the pack, James Brown of the 28 continues to climb up the running order as he moves to the outside of Mike Johnson. Brown moves into the 5th spot. Sargent losing time on the outside. He loses a spot to Fulton Mountain. Now we'll come back charging on the outside, though. And he gets us upside Mountain side by side for the 3rd spot. Scott Sargent trying to hang tough on the outside, but he's having a hard time of doing it. Now he gets alongside James Brown. Brown gets by, and Sargent is back to 5th. Up in front, Wayne Helliwell caught in a sandwich between Brian Grant and Fulton Mountain. Now Mike Johnson slows in the number 11. Fulton Mountain slows in the 7. Mountain goes way wide, pushing Scott Sargent up high. Wild action going on up in front as Brian Grant and Wayne Helliwell continue to nail down the first and second spots. James Brown has climbed to 3rd. J.R. Burrill has come to 4th. Keep your eye on Burrill, quietly moving his way into the top 4. Brown, the winner a couple of weeks back of the S&J 100 late model lap race, 100 lap late model race. It will now move down to the inside of James Brown. Problems for Mike Johnson continue as he pulls to the outside in turn number 1. Slow. Doesn't look like he'll be able to make his way back to the pit area, and the caution flag will fly. A big mix-up as they head back into turn number 1 with James Brown going around for a spin. Momentarily, flames shooting into that machine, but it appears that the fire has been contained. Pace car driver Joe McAllister pulls the Lee USA for Thunderbird onto pit road, and we're set for a start once again. Green flag is out, and we're back underway. Up on the start. we're still on the green. Apparently a couple of drivers having problems getting up to the gears. That will move J.R. Baril into the top spot. Now the caution flag will not fly. Finally, John Horvath is bringing the pledged yellow flag out, which is kind of the warning flag, pointing it to some of the front drivers. Brian Grants now slows a bit in the number 79. That allows Wayne Helliwell to go to the outside. This will be the battle for second. 0-1 up high. 79 down low. James Brown almost makes it 3 wide down the front straightaway. Grants and Helliwell still side by side for the runner-up spot down the back chute. Meanwhile, J.R. Baril has said see you later to the rest of the pack. He leads by over 10 car lengths in turn number 1. The number 17 way out in front, this time by halfway down. 15 down, 15 to go in the 30-lap late model race. Now James Brown will look low on Brian Grants as Helliwell just back. Brown gets the hole shot, forcing his way into turn number 1. Down low on Brian Grants. He takes over the second spot. James Brown. Brown moves up. Grants back to third. Side by side for fourth now. As Grants gets crossed up just a bit, that allows Wayne Helliwell Jr. in the 0-1 to pull up beside Grants and Fulton Mountain to back off just a bit. And now James Brown tries to track down J.R. Baril. He's got a long way to go. And he just might get what he needs, a caution flag. And indeed he does. Caution is out for the spinning number 22 of Charlie Russo. So it's 17 laps complete and 13 still to go. We're set for a start. J.R. Baril, James Brown, Wayne Helliwell. Your top three with the rest of the pack head to the green flag. We're underway. Ron Bolduc hard into the outside retaining wall in turn number 2. He'll get it back underway and we'll stay under green for the moment. Nice job by Bolduc to get it cleaned up and to stay out of harm's way. Meanwhile, back up in front, it's J.R. Baril as Scott Sargent slows in turn number 1. And apparently it wasn't anything mechanical with Scott Sargent, as just as soon as the caution flag flew, he was able to pull away. So Sargent will rejoin the field. Looks like he's going to be heading to the pit area. J.R. Baril, James Brown, Wayne Helliwell, Fulton Mountain, Billy Clark, and Tom Fuller. Green flag. Big pile up into turn number 2. J.R. Baril gets sideways. That causes Wayne Helliwell and Charlie Russo to come together. Caution flag coming out. And we're under caution once again as Bob Patch heads back to pit road. Charlie Russo going back to the pit area. And now J.R. Baril head back to the pit area. James Brown, on the other hand, will apparently he's going to sit idle, and now he's going to try to make his way back to the pit area. He's having a hard time doing it. And here comes Scott Sargent. Sargent didn't even lose, well, he lost 1 lap because we did get 1 lap in the book. Pace car pulls onto pit road. It's going to be interesting to see if J.R. Baril can make his way back from his 9th starting position to the top spot in just 12 laps. Green flag is out. Billy Clark is your new leader. Scott Bonney has charged into second. Brian Grants has come back to third. Kerry Heath has moved to fourth. Gary Zima, Richard Knight, Scott Sargent, and J.R. Baril all battle for the number 4 position. Zima gets sideways. Scott Sargent dives down low. Meanwhile, Bob Patch off the pace in the number 10. Good battle going on for second. Brian Grants looks low on Scott Bonney. This will be the scramble for second. 10 laps to go that last time by. Caution flag coming out. A large line of water going into turn number 3 up on the Budweiser side.
$20 down and 10 to go. Here they come. Green flag. Billy Clark in the lead. Scott Bonney runs second. Brian Grants is third. Scott Sargent is fourth. Richard Knight is fifth. Some of the cars back in the pack are lapped cars. We'll try to keep you updated on that, but Billy Clark has opened himself up a comfortable lead. Scott Bonney runs second. Brian Grants is third. Scott Sargent is fourth, and J.R. Burrill on the move, coming all the way from the back. Into number 17, up on the outside. Working the outside of Sargent, trying to take that spot away. Brian Grants gets down underneath Scott Bonney. Grants goes to second. And now the 66 of Scott Sargent gets down underneath Bonney. He goes to third. Burrill goes to fourth with 5 laps to go. Big lead for Clark. Grants runs second. Sargent is third. And now Burrill looking to the inside of Sargent, and no go on that time. Off the fourth turn. Burrill still working the inside of Scott Sargent, trying to take the spot away, and does. Burrill goes to third. Two laps to go this next time by. 2 to go. Here's the battle for second. Brian Grants and J.R. Burrill as Burrill looks to the outside. Caution flag is out. 2 cars involved on the front stretch. Yellow is out. The 2, Gary Ziemba out of Manchester, connects with the wall in the infield, and the 14 of Tom Fuller. And the black flag comes out for the 22 of Charlie Russo. Grant's overdue for victory lane. Here they come. Green flag for the restart. This time, J.R. Burrill tucks in right behind Billy Clark. And that puts Grants back a spot. Burrill goes to second. Grants is third. Scott Sargent is fourth. And look at J.R. Burrill down underneath Billy Clark. Burrill, the new leader, with just a lap to go. Billy Clark is second. Brian Grants is third. James Brown trying to make a move on the outside in the 28. He'll come to the checkered flag this time. It looks like Burrill will win it, but look at this battle for second. Burrill will win. Here they come to the strike. Clark holds off for second. James Brown third. Brian Grants fourth. Scott Sargent fifth. And the 31 of Richard Knight will finish sixth. Unbelievable move on the last lap. Or actually the next to last lap for J.R. Burrill. He picks up the win. We will forego the victory lane ceremony so that we can bring our next feature out, and then immediately following the conclusion of tonight's program, we will honor our feature winners. Car number 10,